Good evening. This is just a stenographer's test to make sure that our Zoom is working. So bear with me a couple of minutes and we'll make sure it's good. This is not my usual job, so you'll have to excuse me. Sorry. Good.
So let me tell you
Sorry.
where. Let me tell you where. It was at that dinner that we had with the executive. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But it was fun.
You're like my mama.
We invite everyone who is able to please stand for the reading of the invocation. God of all compassion, we pause to give thanks for this moment, which connects past, present, and future regarding a sacred vocation. As the words that will be recited this evening reflect centuries of devotion to the well-being of others, may they also serve as guideposts, leading to the ongoing dedication to provide care. Bless these newest members of the medical community as they embark upon their chosen profession. We also ask your blessings upon those who mentored them, as well as those in attendance who celebrate with them. Stand watch with them as they share in the journeys of those who will seek their medical expertise, and instill within them the joys of knowing they serve in a unique fellowship which extends not only to those who went before them, but also to those who will serve alongside them. Let those who come after them find them faithful to the commitments they will express tonight. This we ask in humility and gratitude. Amen. You may be seated.
Department chairs, faculty, honored guests, staff, family, friends, loved ones, and most importantly, to the MUSC College of Medicine Class of 2024, welcome to your oath ceremony. We are excited that we can celebrate the conclusion of this phase of your medical education together, as the start of your medical school journey was with that white coat ceremony in the horseshoe. The oath ceremony is one of my favorite events of the year. With that COVID virus interrupting the beginning of your medical education, you never had the ceremonial start to medical school. Rather, you grabbed your white coat and equipment package with a drive-by, and then proceeded to have your first lectures online and in random places, your homes, coffee shops, and I've heard even from a few car trips. And then you had to find ways to study and bond with your fellow students, and I heard of some really creative ways that you accomplished this while COVID distancing. Your hard work and perseverance have paid off, and now you are marking the end of your journey as a medical student. Note, I didn't say the end of your medical education. You will be learning throughout your life as a physician, first as a resident, then perhaps as a fellow, and even as an attending. I am certain that your faculty has instilled in each of you a desire for lifelong learning. One of the reasons I enjoy the oath ceremony so much is the history that is embedded in this event. And we are celebrating this ceremony tonight during MUSC's bicentennial year. That does not make you the 200th class to graduate, however. You were the 195th medical school class to graduate from the Medical College of South Carolina, as it was known in 1824 when it was founded. The 5 missing class years were for the first graduates, who only needed 1 year of education to complete their studies, and who paid tuition of about $2. Parents, I wish it was still $2. And the 4 missing class years during the Civil War when our medical school closed. As an amateur historian, I could delve deeper into the history of MUSC, but tonight, let's focus on the history of hooding itself. The tradition of hooding was started well before the founding of the Medical College of South Carolina. In 12th century European universities, hooding ceremonies were used to distinguish scholars as they advanced in their education, and the size and length of the hood increases as their education progressed. It wasn't for looks. The hoods were needed to keep warm in medieval libraries and monasteries where ancient texts were often maintained. The addition of the cap, or tam, which you will wear at commencement on Saturday morning, started in the second half of the 14th century in England. The tradition of hooding was brought to King's College, now Columbia University in colonial New York. and is now a rite of passage at most major universities across the United States. So, why does your hood have these colors and appearance? The bright green color that adorns your hood was chosen for doctors of medicine to represent the ancient herbs and plants first used for medicines. The inside color of your hoods, black and gold, represent the colors of the Medical University of South Carolina. You'll notice your faculty have very different colors inside their hoods depending upon where they went to medical school. So what makes this tradition so important? Unless your residency match takes you to the tundra, it is unlikely you will use these hoods to keep you warm in the unheated halls of your next destination. Rather, the hood is an acknowledgement of all the dedication and hard work you have committed on your journey to become a physician. To me, the hood holds many memories. The nervousness of talking to your first standardized patient, taking that dreaded step 1 exam, struggling through the loneliness and isolation of COVID, and maybe even howled around using FaceTime with your team when you became sick or were told not to come in for rounds. It also holds the happy memories of friendships forged over long nights of studying, celebrating after you finished that dreaded shelf exam, and the excitement you all felt on match day. Finally, I suggest that the hood holds all of the love and support from the friends, loved ones, and family members with whom you are sitting today. Without their support, you would have had a much harder time achieving this milestone. They are with you today to celebrate your achievements, and it is fitting that we thank them with a round of applause for all they have done to help you accomplish your goal of becoming a physician. The second piece of history tonight is the physician's oath that you recite at the end of tonight's ceremony. An oath for physicians is thought to originate around 400 BCs from the writings of Hippocrates, Hippocratic Oath, although others actually attribute it to Pythagoras, the Pythagorean theorem. It was brought to Europe in the early 1500s at the University of Wittenberg, the same institution where Martin Luther started the Reformation a few years later. While translated into English in the 1700s, it was not widely used until adopted by the World Medical Association in 1948 after the atrocities of World War II. It was meant to be used to remind physicians of their oath to care for others. As a dedicated alumnus explained to me, the first oath ceremony at MUSC was held in 1971, at the height of the Vietnam War, to remind everyone of the need to care for others in tumultuous times. While the traditional Hippocratic Oath has been modified multiple times, the tenet of the oath remains the same. First, the purpose of medical care is to benefit the ill. First, do no harm. Second, a patient's needs should be considered above all else. And third, medical professionals should help to teach each other and work as part of a larger team. These tenets of medicine have been the same from ancient Greece to the Reformation to current day. Graduates, when you recite the oath tonight, other physicians in the audience will be asked to join you, reaffirming their oath as a medical doctor while establishing the bonds of trust and knowledge with you, our next generation of physicians. It's also fitting tonight that you're sitting next to people in regalia with you, someone who you view as a mentor or a loved one who is welcoming you to being a doctor and to the profession of medicine. And we're excited that we can go back to our pre-COVID ways of welcoming you to the profession. Congratulations to each and every one of you for being present today, and welcome to your new professional community. You join a rich history of centuries of medical care and 200 years of medical education in the state of South Carolina. Tonight, we celebrate you. Congratulations.
Good evening. It is my privilege to introduce the speaker for the oath ceremony. Dr. Joe Bloomer is an associate professor in the Department of Cell and Molecular Pharmacology. He graduated in 1994 with a Bachelor of Science degree in genetics from the University of Georgia and subsequently earned his Doctor of Philosophy and degree in microbiology and molecular genetics from Emory University School of Medicine. for his work exploring the functional redundancy in cyclic AMP receptors. Dr. Bloomer is a member of the American Society of Pharmacology and Experimental Therapeutics and has served in various leadership roles and on executive committees within that organization. For 11 years, he has served as the Association of American Medical Colleges Council of Faculty and Academic Societies faculty representative from this organization. And for over a decade, he served as an associate or reviewing art editor for multiple journals, including the Journal of Pharmacology and Experimental Therapeutics. Very importantly, Dr. Bloomer has made profound and lasting contributions to medical student education. Since 2016, he served as theme leader in the pre-clerkship curriculum for the Pharmacotherapeutics and Nutrition longitudinal theme, now called Molecules, Metabolism, and Therapeutics. He serves as the co-course director for the Renal and Respiratory Systems and the Cardiovascular System course. As director of the medical school's USMLE Step 1 course and director of the pre-clerkship academic coaching program, he is deeply invested in the success of medical students, both in the classroom and beyond. He is highly engaged in many of our education committees. Dr. Bloomer is celebrated as a teacher and beloved for being approachable and for his ability to make complex concepts easier to learn. I reviewed 1,400 comments written about Dr. Bloomer since just 2020. And one stood out. So many were positive, but I think this has a special way of capturing Dr. Bloomer. Dr. Bloomer is literally the best human and best educator. He goes out of his way to connect with students and ensure that we fully understand the subject. Indeed, because he has been nominated for and won many, many, many awards, Golden Apple Awards, Faculty Excellence Awards, and Teacher of the Year Awards, including the 2024 Teacher of the Year Award for the College of Medicine. When not spending time teaching, mentoring, coaching, or with his beautiful family, he can be found fulfilling joyfully his role as faculty advisor for the MUSC Running Club. Please welcome Dr. Bloomer to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Kern, and thank you for your warm reception. Thank you to Dr. Steyer, thank you to the Dean's Office, the Office of Student Affairs, and of course, the class of 2024 for this invitation to speak, the opportunity this affords, and I'm really, truly honored and grateful and /terrified. Now, some of you students already know this because I've told you this about me. You know, I have a fairly unhealthy sense of imposter syndrome, just in my everyday role of teaching medical students. And I'll provide some information as to why I think that is coming up, but I want to underscore that with an example. An interaction I had with my wife a couple years ago. So we were looking at our schedules and trying to figure out who's going to pick up one of the kids after some after-school activity, what have you. I said, no, I can't do it that day. I'm scheduled to teach in the simulation center. I'm supposed to teach first-year students how to read EKGs. And my wife looked at me with a combination of bewilderment and confusion, like, why did they have you doing that? I was like, yeah, I know, right? Why did they have me doing that? That just kind of frames my kind of general kind of imposter syndrome. So imagine my reaction to getting an email inviting me to speak at the oath ceremony tonight. I was terrified, somewhat confused, but of course I was flattered. And honored. But what can I possibly share with you as doctors? I don't do what you do. I haven't lived your experience. I have no clinical experience. I'm not one of you. I couldn't do what I couldn't possibly do what you do. I chose science and research for a reason. I can't do blood and guts. And so, so what am I going to talk about? And so, I went to ChatGPT, and that was trash. utter hot garbage. Gave me nothing to lose faith in the hope of AI. Not a good idea. Good for some things, not for speech writing. So I centered my remarks on parts of my training that kind of loosely-ish parallel yours. particularly two aspects regarding transitions in training, because even though I didn't do residency, I did a postdoc, and so that's roughly analogous to that, right? And so one is the importance of mentorship in helping you kind of navigate those transitions, and two, the transition in going from learner to teacher. And that's the transition that you're going to make, as you go through your residency. And the joy and the fulfillment that can come as a consequence of that learner-teacher dyad, and how those two roles kind of become interchangeable over time. So, postgraduate training for scientists and researchers is not quite as formal as it is for you guys, for you physicians. There's no match process, there's no ERAS, no NRMP, there's no rank list, and there's a lot of freedom to go and do whatever you want. If you did a PhD in plant genetics, you could do a postdoc in cancer biology if you wanted to. I mean, literally that happens, right? So my PhD was in slime mold, right? Slime mold. Now you see where the imposter syndrome is, right? And now the dean's office is like, we got a slime mold expert teaching students how to read EKGs? What is happening, right? Okay. So, I bet you didn't know that. But my fellowship was part of a very momentous and enormous change, both personally and professionally, and I know that's going to be the same way for you. Our lab moved to Charleston to New Orleans within 6 months of starting my postdoc. Both of our children were born during my fellowship there in New Orleans. We were there during Hurricane Katrina. I don't have enough time, but I got a lot of stories there too. And my point to you is, like, how are you going to respond to those, maybe not those changes, but analogous types of life-altering types of events, how are you going to respond to that? What are your support networks? Because there's no manual for those things. There's no hack, there's no shortcut, there's no cheat code. You can't lone wolf that, right? You got to have support. And so I want you to begin thinking about who and what those support systems and networks are going to be. And you're going to need people both inside and outside your communities in practice to help you with that. So in addition to family and friends, and of course those are going to be your mainstays for support, I want you to start thinking about how people in your professional network can help you as well, simply because of how important that was to me and my own kind of career path. So as you navigate your internships and residencies, you are going to feel like all the eyes are on you. And they kind of are, okay? And they're going to be watching you, watching what you do, watching what you say, critiquing you, giving you evaluations, solicited and unsolicited feedback. But I want you to keep your eyes open too. Okay, I want you to keep your eyes open and watching, observing attendings, fellows, chief residents, with an eye out to identify potential mentors. Not only will a good mentor help you anticipate and address potential issues as you move forward in your career, they're also going to provide a model for professional behavior and bring clarity to your professional identity. They can provide key networking opportunities and will strengthen your connection to your profession. A solid relationship with a mentor is going to be exceedingly important for your career development. My mentor, Dr. Steve Lanier, was also my postdoctoral advisor, and I've known Dr. Lanier for 26 years. And I firmly believe I wouldn't be where I am without, professionally in my career, without his modeling of professional behavior, his help, guidance, and support throughout that process, and even today. He's not only a successful scientist and researcher, but he's also been a successful department chair, vice provost for research at MUSC, vice president of research at Wayne State, where he's been for the last 10 years. And so knowing his reputation when I started my postdoc, that would be analogous to your residency. I knew how he was regarded by his peers. I just watched, right? I just watched him see how he carried himself, how he interacted with people, how he handled situations, and of course I noted how hard he worked. He's notorious for sending 4 a.m. emails. He demanded excellence. He was very generous with his time and his resources. Everyone in the lab seemed to really matter to him. He treated the lab like a family. He was just kind to everyone he met. He didn't say unkind things about people, even behind closed doors. And so in my professional interactions, I try to emulate that, even now. So that kind of informed some of my professional identity and behaviors. So just as an example, I just noticed over and over again how either he would introduce me to a colleague, let's say we're at a national conference or something, or how he introduced colleagues to me. And he always had some kind of personal anecdote or praise or something personal about everyone that he introduced. There was a connection. And I try to do that as well. And I try to emulate that when I introduce students to other people. And why do you think I do that? I do that because of how it made me feel. It made me feel important, valued, and special, right? And just watching that interaction kind of informed how I want to be as a faculty member, okay? Now, just bringing that to present day, before every exam, I write personal emails to students, right? They're not copy-paste, they're not blanket emails, they're one at a time, handwritten, written out for each student, right? And why do I do that? Simply because I know how it would make me feel if I were to receive something like that the night before a big exam, right? You are noticed, you're valued, you are important, you are special, you matter, right? You're not just a number or in a grade book, right? And that's because of the impression that made upon me when I was having those interactions with my mentor many years prior to that. So my key point here is like watching your mentors in a professional setting can give you a vision and a guide for becoming the type of doctor that you envision yourself to be, okay? Having a quality mentor can provide that template or blueprint for how you want to carry yourself in your profession, okay? And then, of course, there are mentors that can actually be very helpful in navigating the issues that are going to come up and anticipating the issues that are going to come up in your day-to-day, right? Likely they've experienced the very same issues you're experiencing, or if not, they probably know someone who has. And so that's an opportunity for your mentor to kind of step in and give you some direction, give you some guidance. That you can't buy that. That's just so helpful. Mentors can be a very helpful source of networking. That's critical. Networking was just so essential to my advancement of my career. And there's kind of a butterfly effect when that happens, right? You never know where that's going to go. Once you get introduced to someone, you get on someone's radar screen, an opportunity comes along. Oh yeah, I remember that intern, Dr. So-and-so, they were interested in X, Y, or Z, and here's this opportunity, boom, here's an email, and then you just never know, right? Unless you get on someone's radar screen, you don't know. So you can leverage your mentor's vast network. Let them introduce you to folks. Let them introduce you to people, and then rely on them to make those connections. They're essential for moving forward in your career. I had a great mentor that not only helped me, put me in a position to be successful as a scientist and a researcher and modeled that professional behavior, but also he introduced me to others that really were so influential in my career development. And I can't thank Dr. Lanier as my mentor for providing that. I simply just wouldn't be where I am without him, and I credit a lot of my professional identity to him. And so that's one of the most important career advice pieces I can give to you, is find mentors and nurture those relationships, okay? Now, back to these transitions and training. Right now, you're on top of the world, and you should be. You've accomplished something that is very difficult and challenging, trust me, I know, and you should be applauded for that, absolutely, 100%. But, as you know, in a few weeks, you're going to be right, you're back kind of where you started, so to speak, and that imposter syndrome is probably going to come back a little bit. And so, who are you going to turn to? Who are you going to reach out to for help and support when that feeling happens, right? Well, look at the person sitting next to you, the person sitting behind you, the person in front of you. You've got a built-in support system right there with your classmates. Many of you have spent and made very strong connections with your classmates. That's the support system right there, okay? Leverage that. Some of you are going to residencies together with some of your classmates. That's fantastic. But regardless, your classmates are going to be key sources of support for you, in addition to family and friends, of course, don't get me wrong. So the other thing is, you got us here. You got faculty and staff at MUSC. We're not going to stop supporting you just because you graduated and moved on, okay? So remember that your success continues to be our success. If you have mentors here, develop a relationship with faculty here, continue to reach out to us. We'll still be here to support you. Our mission doesn't stop just because you graduated, right? 100%. All right. Now, to be honest, medical education wasn't on my radar screen as a career path when I took my faculty position. It's not something that I was necessarily trained to do. But I am grateful that the Dean's Office saw some potential in me and decided to take a chance on me as a pharmacology theme leader. It really opened up a whole new world that I didn't know existed and never fully appreciated. But what I found was that education and teaching provides me a sense of fulfillment and impact in my work that I hadn't really felt when I was primarily focused on research. I think the first part of that is just because I feel like I contribute to students being able to rationally prescribe, safely prescribe medicines to patients, right? So I am kind of indirectly making the impact on patient care in a roundabout way. I can rationalize that. And I base that on formal and informal feedback from comments from students, not only during pre-clerkship, but even in clinical years and in residency as well. And then perhaps even more importantly, there's impact that we as educators have on students' growth, development, and professional identity as physicians. And this type of thing doesn't happen in the classroom. This happens more in kind of one-on-one conversations with students, and primarily I'm talking about my role as director of the academic coaching program, where I meet with students on almost a daily basis, and quite honestly, it's my favorite part of the job. And to this day, I'm not sure why students want to come talk to me, but they do, and I thoroughly enjoy it. I love it. It brings joy and energy to my day. I have an open door policy, and students know that, and they know they have a safe space to come in and chat whenever they need it. One of the most striking things I noticed from students in our discussions over time is just how much they grow. Not just learn, but truly grow over the course of their time here. And there's not much, not so much what we teach them in the classroom or the clinics, but more from their own, or your own experiences and your own self-reflection. And from those initial conversations that I have with students in the first semester when they're first starting medical school, feelings of imposter syndrome, feelings of inadequacy, feelings of being completely overwhelmed. Sometimes it's frustration of the time they spend studying, not seeing what they perceive as a real return on that investment, questions about whether they're doing enough to have a great residency application and match, just all sorts of things that you as graduates probably chuckle about now, but at the moment, at that time, those were some very emotional conversations, okay? And I had some of those conversations with some of you. Sometimes you just need a little reassurance, maybe a pep talk, maybe some perspective, but other times they were real crises, real fires that needed to be put out. But to see how far you've come from that, how far you've grown in a relatively short period of time, it's truly remarkable. And that is where, as an educator, I feel a sense of fulfillment, joy, and purpose in the work that I do. And as you transition into becoming more of an educator, I want you to kind of keep that in perspective, okay? It's not me or us as faculty giving you answers, really, as much as it is us asking you kind of the tough questions and directing you to do the self-reflection, identifying your own goals, and developing a plan to help reach those goals. Those are the types of skills that you can leverage as part of lifelong learning that can help you navigate many of the situations you're going to find yourself in during residency and throughout your career. That's powerful. That matters. That gives me a lot of sense of purpose for the job that I do. Those of us who are allowed to engage in these kind of deep conversations with you, it's truly a privilege to be let in and allowed to be part of those conversations. That doesn't come lightly. You can't just develop that after a single meeting. But what an honor it is. What an honor it is for us as educators to be in that position, to be trusted in that way. Thank you for that honor and that privilege. We are so grateful, all of us up here, so grateful. That has meaning. That has impact. That matters. And understand, this isn't a one-way street. These aren't unidirectional interactions. We as faculty are learning from you through these interactions. I've had conversations with students that I will never forget, ever. And I reflect on them often as sources of inspiration. This truly provides purpose and meaning and fulfillment to the work that I do. It's probably more impactful on me and most of us on the stage than the teaching or instruction that we do in the classroom or the clinics, okay? Because you are truly inspiring. You are why we are here. You help us become better instructors and leaders through your feedback and interactions with us. We learn from you. We learn from the learners, okay? You parents and grandparents, siblings, significant others, loved ones, I know you know these amazing students a lot better than I ever will. But if you could just see what I see in terms of how far these students have come and where they are now, I interviewed many of you. I know some of the struggles you had early on. It's astonishing the amount of growth you've experienced and what you've been able to accomplish. I'm just so incredibly proud of each and every one of you. And that's where I feel a true sense of fulfillment and enjoying the work that I do. I tell Dr. Kern this all the time, but I absolutely love my job. And that's because of you. You know that, right? That's because of y'all, right? The relationships we build with each other, what you mean to all of us, not just the chance to make an impact on you, but more importantly, the impact that you have on us. You're the reason we do what we do. We are so lucky to be in the position that we are. We get to work with amazing people every day as educators, and that's you. So in your transition from learner to teacher as part of your residency training, remember this, even though your role has been switched from becoming a learner to a teacher, you can still learn so much from your students. And that can provide a true source of joy and fulfillment in your work. So as you move on from here and begin in the next transition of your training, make sure you identify your support networks. Don't forget about your classmates and your faculty here at MUSC for support as well. Keep your eyes open, identify potential mentors, and cultivate that relationship, as it will be essential in providing a framework for your professional identity and behavior, helping you navigate obstacles and expanding your network. As you move on for your roles as learners and becoming teachers, remember, medical education is not a one-way street. You can find so much fulfillment and joy in your role as an educator, not from just teaching, but also learning from your students. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Congratulations, class of 2024. I am so proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bloomer, for the wisdom tonight and across the 4 years. We couldn't have done it without you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kaylee Hayden, and I've had the pleasure of serving as the class president of the class of 2024, and it is truly a treat to address all of you tonight. As I thought about what to say tonight, I really struggled with those same sentiments of imposter syndrome that Dr. Bloomer just shared about. I am 26 years old, and I've spent the last 21 years in a classroom. So it's safe to say that I don't know a lot about the world. There's not a lot I do know, but one thing I know is for certain, that ahead of us lies a privilege without parallel, to become a physician. Looking back at this journey that's taken us this far, I can't help but feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude. And it's that gratitude that I want to express tonight. First and foremost, to our beloved friends and family here with us, thank you for being here with us tonight. Charleston in May isn't necessarily the most convenient of vacation destinations, but it makes for a great beach trip. Your unwavering support throughout our educational journey has been nothing but extraordinary. From answering every late night phone call and celebrating each triumph, comforting us in moments of loss, you have been our lifeline. Your encouragement has been the foundation of our success, and for that we are eternally grateful. To the esteemed faculty and staff of MUSC, thank you for your dedication to our education. Your guidance, expertise, and relentless commitment have played an instrumental role in shaping us into the young physicians that we become tonight. Your passion for teaching and healing has instilled within us a profound sense of responsibility for our future patients. You have equipped us with the knowledge, skills, and values that will serve as our compasses throughout our careers. We are indebted to each of you for your invaluable mentorship. And finally, to my extraordinary classmates, thank you for being you, for having the audacity to do a hard thing, for daring to pursue the path of medicine despite its challenges and uncertainties. We can't forget that we did start medical school amidst the COVID-19 pandemic as strangers in virtual classrooms, and I stand here and regard many of you as some of my dearest friends. It is your passion, your resilience, and the bonds of our friendship that will propel our generation forward as healers and advocates for positive changes in healthcare. Together, we have weathered the highs and lows of medical school, grueling exams, demanding rotations, and personal trials, and celebrated as we overcome each of those. Your camaraderie and shared sense of purpose have been beacons of light. As we embark on the next chapter of our lives, let's not forget to lift as we climb, supporting and uplifting one another along the way. Congratulations, doctors.
Thank you, Kayla, and thank you for your leadership for your class for the past year. We greatly appreciate it. Prior to beginning the formal hooding of the graduates in the class of 2024, I would like to take a minute to acknowledge a member of this class who is sadly no longer with us. Jeremy Chen was a member of the class of 2024 who was diagnosed with colon cancer after starting medical school and sadly passed away from his aggressive disease in the spring of 2021. In a book that his mother wrote, A Life Beautifully Lived, she described the pride that Jeremy had in being a member of the class of 2024 and his love for his fellow students. Tonight, we have draped a chair in the auditorium with Jeremy's hood, and we have prepared a memorial blanket which will be given to his family following tonight's ceremony. Jeremy's legacy will live on through a bench of reflection that was placed for him on campus near Colcock Hall, and with an endowed scholarship that his parents gave to the Middle University of South Carolina that bears his name. Would you please join me now for a moment of silence in memory of the future Dr. Jeremy Chen. Thank you. I now welcome the members of the class of 2024 to the stage to be hooded by their chosen mentor.
Christopher Baltimore. Granville Lake Boxa. Savannah Bowman. Philip Hudson Bridges. Jordan Gower Decker. Matthew Hall. Casey Iducci. Thomas Chase Kunich. Jamison Lee. Lee DM Mai. Minyante Moore. Christopher Rocco Panetta. Brandon Penland. Ipsita Pradhan. Emily Robertson. Catherine Lorick Sanders. Samuel Siegler. Kevin Shrake. John Slavinsky. Aiden Vadalero. Mauricio Gallegos. Ashish Joel Nicodemus. Richard Wenhow Zhao. Brittany Fritz. Ashley Howell. Danny Aaron Nixon. Olivia Rosinski. Michael Collins. Raj Patel. Kayla Hayden. Stephanie Ray Teeling. John DeStefano. Molly Mead. Megan Rogers. Anthony O'Leary. John Ryan Allen. Erica Andrade. Anna Nadia Arar. Miriam Magdi Malik Atiyah. Emily Ann Babb. Tyler Beck. Catherine Bishara. Daniel J. Bontheus. Caroline Brailsford. Catherine Margaret Bridges. Marissa Brock. William Nicholas Butler. Michael Anthony Burns, Jr. Joshua Lee Cagle. Gavin Thomas Colley. Jeremy Chin.
Joseph Coutron. Robin Logan Diablo. Kelsey Duckett. Timothy Robert Dush. Benjamin Ellison. Catherine Farrell. Caitlin Fritsch. Elizabeth Thompson Gameltoft. Stephen Gannon. Ashley Gervin. Robert Graff. Miriam Perrin Griffin. Alexander Warishki. Alondra Gutierrez Ara. Matthew Michael Harrison. Tyler Holt. Erin Simone Hine. Monsi Joglager. Sonia Catchins. Serena Kalogi. Almira Latif. Alzofa Latif. Carla Lautenschlager. Samuel White. Elena Manowich. Matthew Joseph McCrossan. Aaron McGuire. Caroline McWhorter. Allison Meadows. Megan Minchak. Fatima Ubas Muhammad. Neil Monahan. Angela Marie Montes. Caroline Marie Moore. Ryan Thomas Moore. Tania Morris. Annie Britt Murray. Baxter Reed Murray. Caroline Nassab. Allison Osborne. Allie Morgan Ottinger. Tsunami Palmer. Cooper Hicks. Lad Michael Platt. Wanye Tyree Pridgeon. Rochelle Quinteo. Grace Benfors. Louise Felipe Keystone. Emily Ramsey. Simone Reed. Kelly Goheen Rutherford. Kayla Reynolds. Grace Davis Rose. Mason Richardson. Raya Hanan Richardson. Peyton Russell. Kelly Rutherford. Ali Bataro Vincent Shahidpur. Miller Williams Shealy III. Kayla Shine. Latifa Smith. Alexander Jocks T. Sugwanis. William Charles Stallings. Connor Stevenson. Andrew Stoddard. Margaret Alice Stroud. Cassidy Kiana Sullivan. Joseph Tyler Vassis. Megan Elizabeth Vieira. Noah Christopher Vieira. Michael Jeffrey Vinzani. Aisha Iqbal Vohra. Courtney Winkos Walker. Elizabeth Richmond Wallace. Abigail Kate Watson. Emma Wetmore. Benjamin Dimitri Young.
Let's give it up one more time for all the members of the class of 24. As the officers before you stand here about to take their oath of office, in many cases reaffirming that oath, I want to reflect on the fact that less than 1% of the U.S. population will serve on active duty. With that group, they do not serve alone. They serve with their families, their loved ones, and as Dr. Bloomer and Dr. Hayden pointed out, there's a team of support. So let's recognize all of those loved ones who support them as well. Attention to the oath. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Bachelor,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the newest physicians to the nation.
Will the graduates please rise? And I invite any of the physicians in the room to stand and recite the oath of Hippocrates with them. Today, everyone, today, in the presence of family, friends, teachers, and colleagues, I dedicate myself to the profession of medicine. I pledge myself to the service of humanity. I will use my skills to care for all in need, without bias and with openness of spirit. The health of my patients will be my first concern. I vow to hold sacred the bond between doctor and patient. I will hold in confidence all that my patients entrust to me. I will strive to alleviate suffering. I will respect the dignity and autonomy of my patients in living and in dying. As a physician, I recognize my duty to society. I will work to promote health and prevent disease. I will advocate for the welfare of my community. Even under duress, I will not use my knowledge or my skills against humanity. I will acknowledge my limitations and my mistakes so that I may learn from them. To uphold these responsibilities, I will maintain my own well-being and the well-being of those closest to me. I will promote the integrity of the practice of medicine. In the tradition of my profession, I honor all who teach me this art. Through honest and respectful collaboration with my colleagues, I will seek new knowledge, re-examine ideas and practices of the past, and teach what I have learned. Above all, the health of my patients will be my first concern. This oath I take freely and upon my honor.
I want the students to take note that you did not do that responsibly. You did that together in unison with us because you are now part of the profession of medicine. We are proud and honored to welcome each of you to the profession, and I will be proud to call each of you doctor on Saturday morning when your degree is bestowed upon you by the Medical University of South Carolina. In our bicentennial year, we are celebrating with the theme of then, now, and next. To the members of the class of 2024, this is your now, you are our next. Congratulations and welcome. I would ask for those who are able to please remain standing for the benediction by Chaplain Harris, followed by the recession of the faculty and the graduates of the class of 2024.
Let us pray. Gracious God, thank you for this rite of passage that begins an unfolding journey. Grant that the words that have been spoken be held close to the heart and offer guidance in the care of humanity. May this public profession with our lips reveal the private devotion we hold dear in our lives. Bless these newest stewards of medical learning so that they leave this setting with the assurance that you go with them. For we are grateful for them and all they will offer. Amen.
Amen.